that trash here, nigga. Alright.
Check your gear and weapons. Planes are making ready for deployment. Enemy soldier incoming. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Trash here, niggas.
Alright, that's enough mucking about. Now we do this for real.
Move in position.
Alright, soldier, mark a drop point for your team. Avoid the gas, get to the safe zone.
Don't get shot out the air, guys. Yeah. Well, I jumped all around the rim.
Light vehicle here.
Oh, one got dead out of the system. Well, yeah. You're my kind of guy. As long as you're gonna shoot that. Meters.
Targets are up, get to work.
I mean, we can push you out there, hey, landing, you know what I'm saying, close to the plane when I'm playing with a bunch of enemies. We got vehicles over there, though.
Scavenger contract marked.
Scavenger contract. Hard copy.
Supply box marked. Secure the package. We've got gas moving in.
Get to the assault.
Objectives updated. Move to the next location.
I'll drive.
Save me a seat.
Objectives updated. Move to the next location. Contract complete. All supply boxes located.
I'll drive.
Save me a seat.
Save me a seat. Moving.
You get truck right down my ride. I'm not riding that girl with no trophy.
Recon contract secured.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Save me a seat.
All I'm just doing, all I'm like, this nigga flips the truck over.
Better find some first aid.
That's why I did not ride with Randy. That's why me and Randy did not ride.
If they survive, they can redeploy. You're in the gulag now. Fight to earn redeployment.
We're all dead, but I don't ride with Randy.
Fight's kicking off. You can practice your aim while you wait. Taunting your enemy is an effective way to get inside their heads. So is a well-placed gun.
Fighting fit.
We got a proper fight here. Get yourself sorted. Listen up, soldier. Win here and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. Sort them out. You got your ass kicked in that one. We're sending you back to base. Your team can still buy you back if they have the cash. Holding for deployment. Take this time to ready up. Hostile dropping into the area.
I knew you'd help me.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Practice is over. The real fight begins now. Set a drop point for your team, soldier. Rush to the safe zone. You got the gas closing in fast. Cash drop on the way. It's payday, gents.
Found us a spot.
Me here.
Copy on your way.
I'll get it done.
Setting rally point.
Marking a rally point.
Tracking enemy.
Execute all targets in the AO. Enemy UAV active. Clock's ticking. Make your way to the target. Gas is right on your tail.
Got to go. Gas is coming.
Contract is settled. Good work out there.
Armor over there. I can drive.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Purple, what the
Now
fuck are
they
you
fight.
doing?
You win this fight and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. Fight your way out of this or capture the objective.
The guy probably coming when I didn't do that.
Back to base. Your team can still buy you back if they have the cash. Holding for deployment. Take this time to ready up. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the sky. Enemy dropping into the AO. Practice is over. The real fight begins now. The gas is closing on your position. Suggest you start running.
Someone go get that. Okay, guys.
Targets are up. Take them out.
Mover spotted. Troops in contact.
Contract accepted. Supply box marked. Secure the goods. Grab the contract, it's over. You're in the gulag now. Survive to earn redeployment. Time for a fight. The fight has begun.
Thank you. I'm here to stay.
The fight begins. Wake up, soldier. Your turn. You win this fight and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. It's time, soldier. Break 'em.
Stunner out.
You're done. Back to holding for deployment. Take this time to ready up. Enemy soldier nearby. Enemy soldier nearby. Practice is over. The real fight begins now. Battle Royale. The gas is closing on your position. Suggest you start running. Cash drop is inbound. Intercept and seize the cargo. Targets are up. Take them out. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Go there!
You're in a gulag now. Survive to earn redeployment.
Thank you. I'm here to stay.
Now they fight. Win here and you return to the battlefield. Lose and your fight is over. Fight your way out of this or capture the objective. Done. We're sending you back to base.
we come skate and stay at his house. So I was all stoked because we had like really formed a really tight friendship at a young age. Sure. So I'm like, dude, come back to Baltimore, skate with me and my buddies, and like see my house. And I'm all excited to bring him back. Ape and Phil, like, she makes Rice Krispie treats. Phil films us skating, like a really fucking all-American home. Right. And I bring him back all excited to show mine, and my drunken father is sitting at the table just like playing knife games with his hand. He's like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, I'm Bam. Like, oh man, I was so embarrassed.
Last time, well, I drove Novak to Baltimore, and we're like in the ghetto, pull up to a red light. Oh, fuck. See that fucker over there in the wheelchair? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's my father. He rolls down the window. Hey, Dad. I'm like, oh man, his dad's the only person like in the history that inherits $1 million beautiful home from his parents who passed away, and now he's in this $1 million home in Baltimore, and gets all paranoid on crack. Winds up lighting the house on fire.
First, he calls the police on himself. He calls the police on himself. The police show up. It's snowing outside, and he's like, "People are outside. They're trying to break in. They're after me." And they do a perimeter check of the house, and there's no footprints in the snow. So they know that he's like delusional. No one's after him. Right. They commit him. They take him for a 72-hour hold, similar to a 5150. And then he gets they let him go. He comes home and picks up where he leaves off, smoking crack. Shit. And this time, instead of fucking calling the police because he don't want to go back to jail for 3 days or this loony bin, he just lights the house on fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
$1 million home.
Yeah.
Now it's just a flat acre of nothing.
Yeah, literally.
It's just another treetop
casino. I just go
casino.
by and see like all the dreams that could have been.
Well, that's a trip because like Carlos's book that we got right here, the Knocking Doors Down book, he talks a lot about that, those attempts at like getting sober and stuff. And then the last time, he kind of was in a psychosis. He was running down the fucking street, like knocking on doors, ironically, like banging on fucking doors.
Speaking of 5150, I had the pleasure to go to the mental institution for 10 days about 2 years ago, and it was the worst time of my life. Like, honestly, I realized that whether you're wrong or right, if you speak up, the more you raise your voice, my buddy Hannafin called me before I was in the mental institution. He's like, Bam, you don't understand. You got to get me out of here. They have my room bugged with microphones. The Russians are after me. They give me water, and they say I wouldn't drink that if I were you. Like, starts banging his head against the wall. He's like, you got to get me out of here. I'm like, Hannafin, the more you do that, the more you're going to stay in there. So there I am listening until we get a straitjacket put on. I'm like, you moron. So once I go there, I have this roommate, and it's this like 7-foot black dude who would just get up at night and just stare at me as I'm sleeping, and I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't get any sleep. On day number 3, I went up to the receptionist or whatever. I'm like, you don't understand. This guy keeps staring at me at night. Crazy.
So now they're looking at you like you're crazy.
So whether I'm right or wrong, it's like
you
put
look
volume
insane.
in him, like make him
straitjacket him.
And so the more you speak up, I just learned how to just keep my mouth shut. But as long as you're in your environment, I guarantee that if you move to Yellowknife, Canada, and start hanging out with Eskimos, you're going to become an Eskimo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you're around all these crazy people who think that they're married to their own shoe and start yelling at the kitchen because it's an asshole, you're going to wind up doing that too. It's going to become normal to you.
The abnormal becomes the normal.
You know what I mean? If you hang out in a crack house all the time, you're going to think that it's a casual thing to smoke crack in front of people. Sure. Yeah. When if you wind up in McDonald's or whatever smoking, you're going to get
it's not the place.
Do you do that here? Or?
Wait a minute, this isn't crack Donald's. That's 2 blocks down.
But see, that's why so much crazy shit would go on in this house, because literally anything went. I remember one time we had the radio room down there. He had a show, Sirius Satellite Radio, and they set up a whole studio down there. And I had been sniffing cocaine here for God knows how long. And he's like, dude, let's go downstairs and listen to a song in the radio room. And I was convinced he was calling me down there to kill me with this fucking sword.
Because I'm just holding the sword, listening to music, and he was wondering
like,
when I was going to use it on him.
I like legit so delusionally paranoid. I thought that he was trying to bait me into the room to kill me. I'm like, I never forget. I stood at the top of the stairs. He's at the bottom of the stairs, and he's got this sword in his hand, this big sword. And I'm like, why? What are we going to listen to? Why do we have to do it down there? There's a little AM, FM radio right here. He's like, no, the speakers are. And the more he said why we should do it down there, the more I was convinced he was going to kill me in that room. We created that environment here.
Then I opened up the top room just to see, because it's like 4 in the morning. I wanted to see who else was up. Nobody's up except Novak on this very pool table with this stripper. And she's trying to do this line of cocaine. He looks up and sees it. He goes, watch this. She leans down to do it, and he's thumping her. He goes, boom, and it all flies everywhere. She's like, she's trying to carve it up again. As soon as she leans down to do it again, boom, it goes everywhere. This went on for like 30 minutes.
And he's just standing there watching.
I'm just up there just dying laughing, man.
So when I hear people in AA meetings say, my worst day sober is better than my best day getting high, I'm like, you had a sad life, man. Well, I had some of the best times of my life partying.
Well, the first time I got sent to rehab was because my mom and wife really wanted me to. I was like 28 years old or something, and I'm at Karen and Redding, and like I'm listening to this lady talk. She's like, first of all, there's nothing good that could come from alcohol. It's a fact, and we all know that. I'm like, tell that to the threesome I had last night, and tell that to the 2 Lamborghinis in my driveway. You know, like, and she didn't know what to say about this because, like, at the time, I mean, Jackass, we were sponsored by Miller High Life. Like, you know, like we got drunk and get the beer muscles to do stupid shit. I mean, now it's not the case.
I think you might have to cut this show in just such a way where we start off talking about how it's such a party in the beginning, and then at the end, it's like dry rubber bands.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get.
When it's your college years and you're having fun with your friends, it's a nice party time. But at 40, it's not cool anymore.
It becomes pathetic.
It becomes really pathetic.
It becomes really pathetic to chase the chicks, the 3-ways.
Oh my God!
I have father at 2. The irresponsibility that took place there, but it's kind of funny to share my radio story at a bar. Friends having trouble getting set up with their band and everything. They go kill time. They had to go buy a new tube for an amp. I'm up there drinking Jack and Coke, telling jokes. Guy goes, "You're funny. You want to work in radio?" I go, "You want to buy me a fucking Jack and Coke?" Bam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it is weird how these things, you kind of get into it in the fun. And I've interviewed every guy from Motley Crue, my favorite band of all time, and Gene Simmons, you know, and all this shit. And it's like, wow, you had all this stuff. But yeah, we get to that point where it's like, God, it'd be really fucking sad to go pick up on 22-year-olds at this point and be like, all right, want to come back to my house, but you got to leave by 10 because the sitter's bringing my kids at that point. I got to sober. It's just like,
could you imagine going to like day drink right now, like in Kildare's?
Dude,
how sad that would be.
It would. I can't even count the amount of times because Jake's Bar is the only bar that opens up at 7 in the morning.
We've opened that joint so many times.
We opened up that joint. There's no way on earth that I would ever.
Could you imagine that?
No, I couldn't.
And ironically, the only person here that could probably do that is this guy, because he is a normie, like we talked about. He had his stint with cocaine,
totally.
but now
Cocaine
he's like,
was my thing,
oh, whatever. Whereas like with us, it would be like, no, you wouldn't have day drinking because it would turn into 5 days later.
Literally,
you know, the boss man, are you coming back from Philadelphia? It's like, wait,
well, that's
what?
the crazy thing. Like, he was the boss man. So, like,